All right, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going deep, really deep, into China's AI scene. Like, where are they at right now, March 2025? And to guide us, well, we've got this super in-depth report, hot off the press from University 365. It's called, get this, China's AI Landscape in 2025, from historical roots to global leadership. Catchy, right?
Definitely grabs your attention.
And to break it all down, we've got Anna, professor over at University 365, and one of the masterminds behind this report. So no better person to unpack all this for us, right?
Glad to be here. Happy to dive in.
So the mission today is simple. Let's cut through the noise. Let's figure out what's really important. Where does China stand in the world of AI? What's next? The big picture stuff. But before we get all futuristic, Anna, the report starts by taking us back in time. It was a bit of a surprise to me, honestly. AI in China, it's not exactly a brand new thing, is it?
Yeah, everyone's talking about China's AI boom now, but the roots go way back. Think late 1970s, right after Deng Xiaoping kicked off those huge economic reforms. Science and technology were like the golden ticket to progress, really set the stage.
Right. But hold on, rewind a bit further. The report mentions some, let's say, hiccups in the decades before that. What was going on there?
Yeah, so back in the 50s and 60s, things got a little tricky. Cybernetics' early AI concepts, they were seen as pseudoscience because of how Soviet ideology was being interpreted back then. It put a damper on things. It meant China had some catching up to do on the global AI scene. It's crucial to know this backstory, to appreciate just how far they've come.
Makes sense. But then the 80s rolled around, things shifted. What got the AI ball rolling again?
Ah, the 80s. Big turning point. 1981, the Chinese Association for Artificial Intelligence, CAAI for short, pops up, authorized by the Ministry of Civil Affairs, no less. The guy in charge, Qin Yuanxin, a scholar who'd been over at Harvard, so serious credentials. CAI became like the central hub for researchers. And then, boom, government funding for AI starts flowing. Chinese scholars get to see what's happening globally. It was like hitting the accelerator.
And they didn't just focus on the bigwigs, right? Even kids were getting in on the action. That part of the report really stuck with me.
Oh, absolutely. Deng Xiaoping himself, in 1984, he comes out and says, hey, computer education for kids, this is huge. Like planting the seeds for the future. He knew that future generations, they needed this digital know-how to lead in fields like AI. Talking about long-term vision, right?
No kidding. And then we start to see AI being woven into those national tech plans. How did that unfold?
It was a gradual process. By 1993, smart automation and artificial intelligence, those buzzwords were officially part of the National Tech Plan. The government was catching on, seeing the potential, the economic and strategic value of AI. But the real game changer, and the report really emphasizes this, was the 2006 National Medium and Long-Term Plan. That was it. AI was a national priority. Big-time resources, clear direction, the whole 9 yards.
And with all that, international recognition was bound to follow. Beijing hosting that big AI conference in 2013, that was a pretty big deal, right?
Huge. The International Joint Conferences on Artificial Intelligence, the first time ever in China. It was like China saying, hey, world, check out what we're doing here, showcasing their progress, connecting with the global AI community. A real coming out party for China's AI scene.
Okay, so we got the backstory. Now, fast forward to today, let's talk government strategy. The University 365 report lays out a pretty ambitious approach.
Absolutely. 2017 was a big year. The State Council drops this new generation artificial intelligence development plan. This isn't just some random document, it's the Bible. 3 phases, clear roadmap, the goal. China, the undisputed AI leader by 2030. It's a bold statement.
Bold is an understatement. And each of those phases has specific targets, right?
Yeah, so phase 1, that was by 2020, all about getting China's AI tech on par with the global leaders. Phase 2, where we are now, running till 2025, AI becomes the engine of industrial transformation. And the grand finale, 2030, China's the global AI innovation hub. No small feat.
It's a top-down approach, for sure. But the report also points out that it's not just about central directives. Local governments, they're in on the action too.
Oh yeah, it's not just about Beijing calling the shots. Local governments, they're the ones making it happen on the ground, growing their own little AI ecosystems. They adapt, they cater to their region's strengths, like Shanghai. They jumped right in, first provincial level regulations specifically for industrial AI. They mean business.
And we've got those cool local initiatives, right? Like Guangzhou's Vehicle Road City model. What's the deal with that?
Guangzhou, they're thinking big picture, building a truly smart city. It's all about creating this intelligent transportation system where self-driving cars can talk to the infrastructure, the roads, everything. Imagine smoother traffic, safer streets, smarter urban planning. AI in action, making cities better.
Sounds like a city planner's dream. But with all this rapid development, there's got to be some regulation, right? How's Beijing balancing all this innovation with, well, potential risks?
Pragmatism is the name of the game. The report calls it that. Beijing's all about fostering innovation, but, within reason. Safety first, ethics matter. So they come up with things like the interim measures for the management of generative AI services back in 2023. And then there's the AI safety governance framework. Think of it like a sandbox. You can play, but there are rules. It's tricky finding that balance. Every country's struggling with it.
For sure. So let's zoom in on the AI ecosystem itself. The report paints a pretty vibrant picture, lots of moving parts. Who are the major players?
China's AI scene in 2025, it's a mix, a real melting pot. You've got those government research institutions, the big tech giants everyone knows, a whole swarm of startups popping up left and right, and of course the universities, the brains of the operation. It's this constant interaction, this collaboration that's fueling the innovation.
And the report, it breaks it down even further. 5 key enablers, right? The foundation of it all.
Absolutely. First off, infrastructure. China's got serious computing power, a global player. Second, data, tons of it and growing fast. It's the fuel for those AI models. Then you got the foundational models themselves, the big brains behind the apps. Fourth, energy. Got to keep those systems humming. And last but not least, talent. Without the right people, it's all just code, right?
And then there's this interesting distinction the report makes. The new AI tigers versus the old dragons. What's the story there?
It's a good way to track how things have evolved. The dragons, companies like SenseTime, Megvii, CloudWalk, U2, they were the early birds, big on facial recognition, image processing, that kind of stuff. Now you've got the new AI tigers, Zipru AI, Baichuan AI, Moonshot AI, Minimax, O1.ai. These guys are all about large language models, the AI that can understand and generate text like us humans. Big deal for all sorts of new AI applications, especially generative AI.
So a shift in focus driven by the tech itself. And of course, we can't forget the big tech players. They're making some serious moves too.
Oh, yeah, the big guns like Alibaba, Baidu, they're not sitting on the sidelines. They're pouring money into AI research. Alibaba's got Q 1.5, a large language model that's making waves. Baidu's Apollo project, still a leader in self-driving cars. And AI is creeping into everything they do, from Tencent's AI medical imaging to Alibaba's AI diagnostic tools. Even something as simple as personalized recommendations on a shopping site, that's AI working its magic.
And speaking of magic, the University 365 report really hypes up China's recent breakthroughs in generative AI.
Generative AI, that's the hot topic right now. It's moving at warp speed. DeepSeek, that's the name to remember. Their open source large language models are turning heads. Why? They're on par with the big Western companies. And get this, they did it with fewer resources. Remember those U.S. export controls on AI chips? DeepSeek's working around them.
That's impressive considering those restrictions. The report even mentions instances where Chinese open source LLMs are actually outperforming some of the big names from the US.
Yeah, and that's saying something. It shows they're not just copying, they're innovating. Zipu AI's ChatTLM3 and Baiquan's Baiquan 2, they're going head-to-head with models like Google's Gemma and Meta's Llama 2 in benchmarks and sometimes even beating them. And O1.ai's Yi series, it's ranking high on Hugging Face, the go-to platform for AI models. They're killing it in reasoning, math, coding, you name it. China's homegrown AI is getting sophisticated fast.
So they're not letting those restrictions hold them back. But all this progress, all this development, it needs cash, right? What's the investment landscape looking like for AI in China?
Money is pouring in, and the government, they're not just sitting back. Government guidance funds, that's the key. It's like this public-private partnership, channeling money into strategic sectors. And guess what? AI is at the top of the list. By 2022, over 2,100 of these funds were up and running, aiming for a whopping $1.86 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T.
That's a mind-boggling amount of money. And the report digs into the numbers, actual investments made by government-backed VCs.
Hold on to your hat. Between 2000 and 2023, these government VCs pumped a cool $184 billion into over 9,600 AI companies. We're talking over 20,000 individual investment deals. These funds are a lifeline, especially for those risky early-stage deep tech startups. Private investors might shy away, but the government's there to back them up.
And we're still seeing big funding rounds being announced all the time, right?
Oh yeah, just this month, March 2025, Zipu AI snagged 300 million yuan from a Chengdu government fund, building on earlier investments from other regional funds. And just before that, another 500 million yuan from Huafa Group, a state-owned enterprise in Zhuhai. And then there's the 1 billion yuan round backed by the Hangzhou City Investment Group Industrial Fund. It's raining money in the Chinese AI scene.
And it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. The future projections are pretty wild.
CICC, China International Capital Corporation, they're predicting that by 2030, the total AI investment in China will be over 10 trillion yuan. That's about $1.4 trillion. And they think the domestic market for AI stuff, all those products and services, will hit 5.6 trillion yuan by 2030. They're basically saying AI in China, it's a gold mine.
So we've got the history, the government's all in, the tech's booming, the money's flowing. We're seeing AI everywhere in the Chinese economy by now, right?
Oh, yeah, by 2025, AI is not just some futuristic concept. It's woven into the fabric of every industry. Healthcare, boom. Companies like Tencent and Alibaba are using AI for image analysis, finding new drugs, even personalizing treatments. Transportation, Baidu's Apollo project, still leading the charge in self-driving cars. Manufacturing, forget those old assembly lines. It's all about AI-powered automation, quality control you can trust, and predictive maintenance that keeps those machines humming. Imagine a factory where AI tells you when a machine's about to go kaput before it even happens. Less downtime, more efficiency.
It's not just those sectors, though. The report dives into finance and public security, too.
Of course, finance is all about managing risk, spotting fraud, right? AI is perfect for that. And then there's the personalized financial services tailored just for you. Public security. Well, facial recognition powered by AI, that's becoming more and more common, thanks to surveillance, law enforcement. It's a brave new world out there.
And it sounds like even the government itself is becoming a big AI user.
Governments love efficiency, right? They're realizing AI can help with that. City government like Guangzhou and Shenzhen, they're hooking their systems up to these powerful large language models like DeepSeek R. And get this, the Fusion district in Shenzhen, they created AI staff members, about 70 of them using DeepSeek. These AI assistants are handling paperwork, supporting the human workforce. Talk about embracing the future.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening now. Okay, so China's clearly doing a lot right. What are their big advantages in this global AI race?
They've got a few H's up their sleeve. First, data. They've got mountains of it, and it's growing every second. That's gold for training AI models. Second, the government. They've got a plan, a long-term vision, and they're sticking to it. It's that top-down approach, from national strategies to local initiatives, that's making things happen fast. It's a stable, supportive environment that attracts talent and investment.
But it's not all sunshine and roses, right? There are challenges, especially when it comes to getting their hands on the best tech.
Yeah, the U.S. export controls on those fancy AI chips, especially NVIDIA's A100, that's a real pain point. China's got to rely on what they can build themselves, like Huawei's Ascend 910B. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite there yet when it comes to training those massive, cutting-edge AI models.
And that reliance on homegrown tech, it's got to have an impact on costs, right? And how fast they can develop things.
You get it. Building top-of-the-line AI models, it's a resource hog. If your hardware's not as powerful, it takes longer, costs more, it could slow them down in the long run, make it harder to compete with those global giants. China's future in AI, it's tied to how fast their chip industry can catch up.
We've talked about the tech, the money, but there's the human side too, right? What are the social and economic impacts of all this in China?
That's the big question, isn't it? Generative AI, automation, it's great for efficiency, but what about jobs? China's got a huge service sector, lots of people working in jobs that could be automated. Job displacement, social unrest, those are real concerns. It's a tightrope walk for the government, pushing for progress, but making sure society doesn't get left behind.
The University 365 report even throws out this really interesting, almost philosophical idea. Could AI change China's economic model?
It's a thought-provoking idea. Some folks are saying, hey, all this powerful AI infrastructure supported by the state, could it pave the way for a more socialist economy? Imagine AI playing a bigger role in how resources are allocated, how the economy's planned, how social services are delivered. Could the state take an even stronger role, maybe even decouple work from income to some extent? It's a hot debate among economists and political scientists.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. So looking forward, what are the big trends, the key things to watch out for in China's AI future, according to the University 365 report?
One thing's for sure, the focus is shifting from research to real-world applications. China's facing economic and demographic challenges, so they need AI that can solve problems, boost efficiency, and open-source development that's gaining steam. Look at DeepSeek, making powerful AI accessible to smaller companies. And of course, China's AI ecosystem, that collaborative spirit, it's a breeding ground for innovation. We're going to see those regional AI hubs, those clusters of talent and investment driving things forward.
So Anna, all this is based on a University 365 report. How does all of this, China's AI journey, tie in with what University 365 is all about?
That's a great question. At University 365, we're not just preparing people for the AI future, we're aiming for something bigger. We want to empower them to be the leaders, the innovators, what we call irreplaceable and superhuman in this new era. And we do that through some pretty unique approaches.
Tell me more about these unique approaches. What makes University 365 different?
We've got UNOP, neuroscience-oriented pedagogy. We're using brain science to optimize learning, techniques like the Pomodoro method, mind mapping, all that good stuff. Then there's 5MTS, 5 Minutes to Success, microlearning that delivers bite-sized knowledge, perfect for keeping up with the AI world. And of course, D2L, deep dive learning, just like we're doing now. We also offer MCWAD, stackable micro-credentials to prove your skills, ULM for personal and professional life success, IBA-BATES, our digital second brain for knowledge management, the CARE framework for information processing, and Copilot, your personal AI coach and mentor.
Wow, it sounds like you're going all in on equipping people for this AI-powered world.
Absolutely. Understanding reports like this one on China's AI landscape, it's essential. We give people the tools, the knowledge, the learning methods they need to not just survive, but thrive in this new era. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Anna, this has been an incredible deep dive into China's AI landscape in 2025. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Really enjoyed the conversation.
So let's recap. The University 365 report paints a clear picture. China's a major player in global AI. They've got the government backing, the investment, the innovation, and the talent. They've made incredible strides, especially in generative AI, and AI is changing everything, from healthcare to manufacturing to how cities are run.
And it's not slowing down. The trends we've talked about, the breakthroughs, the challenges, they're going to shape the future of AI, not just in China, but around the world. It's a global race, a collaborative competition, and it's fascinating to watch.
Absolutely, and that brings us to our final thought for all of you listening out there. Take a moment to think about what we've discussed today about China's AI journey. Compare it to what you're seeing in other parts of the world. Are there parallels, differences? What does it all mean for the future of AI, for collaboration, for competition on a global scale? And maybe consider how the innovative approaches to learning that we talked about, the ones championed by institutions like University 365, how can those help prepare individuals and even whole organizations to navigate this ever-changing landscape? Thanks for joining us on The Meat Dive.